What's up? What's going on? Welcome in. Hoge and Jahns with you with a couple practices in the books at Hallis Hall. Still no pads, but helmets on. Some entertaining plays. Better view today than we had yesterday, Johnsy.
Slightly better.
Felt like training
Slightly
camp
closer.
Yeah. Although I made the mistake of once again ask, didn't today feel a little flat? I guess I just need to accept that it's not Bourbonnais anymore, don't I?
Flat is you're calling out the fans already. You
Yeah,
did this last year.
I know. And I saw today we're standing there in the bleachers, and I'm standing next to our guy, the fish man, and I'm like, God, doesn't it just seem like dead here? And then I caught myself right there. I was like, oh, I shouldn't make that mistake again. I did this last year on the podcast, and people got mad at me. But then I couldn't help. Then I couldn't help myself because on the CHGO show today, I brought it up, and people were mad at me.
Well, maybe the Bears should give him more to cheer about. Starts there.
Ooh,
I don't think fields 3 and 4 really lend to energy. I'll be honest.
Okay.
I think some of the more energetic practices that we experienced last year was on field 2, which you have the long row of stands basically on top of the field. So you see more, you hear more, you feel more.
You're right.
Sometimes you're pretty far from field 4, depending where you're sitting in that vicinity of Hallis Hall, the grounds of Hallis Hall.
Right. So where they were practicing today on the farthest field, there is one bleacher set up like kind of close, but it doesn't go the length of the field. And then all the other ones are on the other kind of side. So yeah, you're right. You're right. The setup on that field, on field 2, when they're over there, is better. And hopefully they practice there on the weekend, maybe, when you probably have the usage of the tickets a little bit better. Because I think they deal with some no-shows. I think that's part of the problem. Because the tickets all sell out.
You tell me people work at 10 in the morning?
Yeah, but you got to find a way to get those to people who will come. You know what I mean? I mean,
More
people
groups.
would...
There are more groups on Wednesday than there were people here today.
Yeah, and technically yesterday was a closed practice.
It wasn't. It was full of groups,
I know.
but yes, community day.
Yeah. Anyway, that's not why we're here. But I'm not trying to blame the fans.
Adam Hoge's ripping the fans already
I'm
for
not.
the lack of energy. Bring that juice.
Come on, you don't miss okay, I have to say it. I miss Bourbonnais.
Well, Bourbonnais gave you a little bit more personal interaction with the players, too. You don't get that here at Hallis Hall.
Well, there's a little bit more now. They are trying to do some autographs and things like that they weren't able to do last year because of COVID. And I did see some tweets today from some fans with some pictures saying, hey, it's great to have this again. But you're right. It's not the same as Bourbonnais.
It is not.
Yeah. We just got to all accept that, I guess. Personally, I get a kick out of when a big play is made, the fans go crazy. But even more so sometimes, like when a guy screws up and you have like the hecklers in the stands. It's funny.
Well, there's that one guy last year. Who was he taunting the entire practice? I'm just calling his name. I forget. It's going to bug me now.
I feel like it was an offensive lineman. And
it was a guy in the stands to the right of the media bleachers, and he was at the top of them just screaming down at the offensive line. Who was he calling out?
Jermaine Ifedi, maybe?
It might have been Jermaine Ifedi. I forget. Yeah. Is he on a team, Jermaine Ifedi?
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to assume he's on the Falcons.
No, hey now.
I'm pretty sure he is, actually. Yes, he is an offensive tackle for the Atlanta Falcons. When in doubt, just assume
they're on the Falcons.
Yes. Anyway, welcome in Adam Hoge, Adam Jahns. You know who we are at this point. I hope so. But if you're stumbling on us for the first time, welcome. We've been here for a while. This is the longest running Bears podcast, I think it's safe to say. At Adam Hoge, at Adam Jahns. Please follow us on Twitter for training camp updates, all kinds of updates. You can hit us for questions there. We'll do our best to answer them and bring them to the pod when necessary. You can read Johnsy on The Athletic. theathletic.com/HoganJahns is where you go to get a discounted subscription and sign up for the first time if you haven't already. I am at CHGO with training camp shows every single day at 2:00 and also on the website at allchgo.com. have something new coming for you next week that I will tease and say to look out for. You also have something I'm intrigued by, but I'm not going to give it away. But based on somebody I saw you were interviewing today.
Oh, I think that piqued everybody's interest.
I was like, why is he interviewing him?
Hoge Jahns is making moves again. Making moves.
That's how you're calling that making a move?
Yeah. Stay tuned.
Okay.
Now everybody's very intrigued.
I know.
I know that media room is very intrigued.
I'm doing my job here for you. I'm not going to give it away.
I'm sure everybody was like, what the heck is going on? I'm telling you, it's going to be pretty good.
Okay.
I hope it's pretty good.
Okay. I almost said something else, but I didn't want to give away too big of a hint, so I'm not even going to say that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, but it would have been a good line. So
it's a good tease, though.
I'll bring it back next week. Yeah. I assume you can get that on The Athletic sometime next week. Welcome in, though. We got stuff to break down, a couple practices in the books, and I'll start with this because you were already giving me shit for it before the show even started.
Hey, someone said this, quit the swearing on Twitter. So
who said that?
I don't know. I thought someone said that.
I didn't see that.
Potty mouth was described. Adam Hoge has developed a potty mouth.
No. Probably not.
I don't know.
What do you got, potty mouth?
You should see Herb Lawrence on our White Sox post-game show. Every single word, every other word is the F word. I don't think I've ever. You're the one who's dropping F words on this show when it comes to Justin Fields in training camp last year.
That is true.
Speaking of Justin Fields in training camp, I thought he had a good day.
I thought he was fine.
And there's your Justin Fields training camp update for today.
Okay, why did you think you have a good?
Look, there were a lot of passes being dropped. I thought 90% of those passes were right where they were supposed to be, and the wide receivers weren't helping them out. I will say this too. Speaking of breaking rules, or I don't know, is swearing on a podcast breaking a rule? I don't even think that's a
not
rule.
This one.
Okay, good.
Let's fucking do it.
There were some videos on Twitter today, I'll just say, that were very helpful in reviewing practice. And some of the plays, from my view, that I was wondering, was that on the quarterback or the wide receiver? And all of those videos showed a quarterback making a good throw, I thought.
Are you talking about the Lamar Jackson interception? Is that up there somewhere?
Well,
that wasn't off fields, was it? No, that was.
No, that was. I think Trevor Siemian threw that one. That was a Trevor Siemian thrown ball. You had. First, I'll give you the ones that I know were just good plays overall. The play of the day to me was the throw up the seam to Cole Kmet.
Back shoulder, falling down. Great throw.
So if you think Steelers game last year, Monday Night Football, the throw up the seam to Jimmy Graham that Justin Fields made, very similar to that throw on the money. Matt Nagy called that a top 3 throw in the NFL, by the way. That this would have been a top 1 throw of 2022 Bears training camp so far. And almost more importantly to me, Cole Kmet made a really nice, tough catch on that, because I like Cole Kmet a lot, but he needs to start showing he can make those tougher catches. That was a good example. So in terms of, putting too much hype on one play, I thought that was a good one that you got to be happy about if you're the coaching staff. There was another dime down the left sideline to Cole Kmet that he caught over the shoulder. Well thrown. Ball up the middle to Darnell Mooney. That was well thrown.
But didn't you and I think, okay, nice catch, good gain. I don't think it goes for a touchdown in a real game, though. Do you?
The one, the Mooney?
Yes.
No.
He might get lit up a bit. The placement was exceptional.
Oh, was that the same play?
The placement was exceptional.
Oh, wait, are we talking about the same play where I was like, I think Mooney gets lit up in a game?
Yes. Leaping catch over the middle, touch
pass,
over.
Is that the one that was going around Twitter, too?
Well, I'm not sure.
It might be two different plays.
I saw the Cole Kmet one. Oh, are you talking about the one over Jalen Johnson's? Great coverage down the right sideline?
Maybe. Look, here's the good thing. We're confused over which good plays we saw. I think it points to a good day. There was one ball that I know you're talking about. It was over the middle, and it was a nice catch, and I was like, I think in a game that the safety would have lit up the wide receiver, though. Hospital ball.
Well, maybe not in today's NFL, but yes, the potential for that hit is there. The only reason I say it was fine, you still saw some plays where he's scrambling, nobody's there, throwing it away, scrambles for a few yards. One of them was in 7-on-7. And if I'm going to be consistent, I'm trying to be consistent, like I don't want to see that anymore. Just try to fit one in some tight window, have some anticipation, maybe throw a guy open. Scrambles, they just don't do anything for me. I don't think they do anything for any team, really, in these situations, especially in 7-on-7 drills that should favor the quarterback. I saw a couple of those today.
Just to play devil's advocate, is there, and I hate seeing that too, and I remember going on a rant in OTAs about that happening too much. Is there any indication with the amount of that we're seeing that this coaching staff is going to be more encouraging of Justin Fields just taking things into his own hand and going to get those yards with his legs?
Just tuck it and run?
Yeah.
Like Matt Nagy always said he was for Mr. Trubisky, but Mr. Trubisky never really did. Something like that.
But even last year, like, they didn't rely too much on that with Fields.
No, they didn't want him to protect himself here or there. I get it. I don't know. We'll have to bring it up to Matt Eberflus next time we talk to him. Whenever that is.
Week?
That's a joke.
I think he talks tomorrow.
Yes, that is correct.
Where's Tevin Jenkins? No idea.
I also, we'll get to that in a little bit. I also felt like you could see why they signed the Riley Reef. I get that the pads need to be on for the offense to assert itself a little bit more up front, but Dominique Robinson shouldn't be in the backfield that quickly all the time. It just shouldn't be, whether it's going up against, well, some of that was against Braxton Jones, but that seems to be a problem. That's why I think he's forced out of the pocket on some of those plays, especially when they're in team drills. You're seeing some of the pass rush get to the spot where he wants to throw.
Yeah. The other play I wasn't, so I'll thank Bears Twitter for coming through on the video. I was relatively sure on the pass that went off N'Keal Harry's hands that it was a good ball. But our view wasn't the best, and sometimes it's why, like, in a game, we always look at the replays 500 times, right, to see what really happened. But this was the pass that went off N'Keal Harry's hands, went straight to Eddie Jackson, made a good play, ran it back. Same type of deal. Don't know if that would have been a touchdown in a game. Hard to tell in a practice. But did see the video later. That was a good ball. And you talk about a guy who is getting a second opportunity with this trade to the Bears, N'Keal Harry. And he says yesterday the best thing he does, he likes blocking, but the best thing he does is going up to get the football. He had 2 opportunities today to show that. That play, which I don't know if you had a chance to see the video, I think it ended up getting taken down.
Yeah, I was just looking for it.
Yeah. He puts one hand up.
Go up for 2. With 2.
Which you might as well just let it go by if you're only going to put one hand up, because all you're going to do is tip it up in the air to a DB, which is what happened. All right. Earlier in practice, there was a fade to the sideline that he could have gone up and got, and instead he just sort of faded backwards and tried to catch it as he was falling down on his back, and he didn't make the play. So, like, I'm not overreacting or calling this N'Keal Harry thing a total, bust after one practice, but you're going to get a handful of opportunities, maybe one almost every day, because wide receivers don't get the ball a lot, right? You're going to get a couple opportunities here and there to prove what they want you to prove. You can't go 0 for 2 in your first practice, second practice with the Bears.
Can't go 0 for 2 after telling everybody that one of the best things you do is go up and get it.
Yeah.
Doesn't look good. And like, to your point, Justin Fields may stop throwing you those balls. He's going to want to start completing some balls. He's going to try to find chemistry with certain players. And if you can't make that catch for him, it's going somewhere else.
Well, that interception goes on Justin Fields' stat line, and it was a great pass, in my opinion. So, yeah, I wouldn't throw him the ball either.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially if you're in a crowded receivers room, like he is, with a lot of guys trying to make best of their second chances. You don't get 2 or 3 chances on the field of practice, especially with all the rotations that are going through.
Yeah.
And like you just see all the throws that are completed to Mooney and Kmet. Like, that just feels good for Justin Fields. Like, he trusts Mooney to be out there. I'm trying not to give away certain quick throw schemes or whatever, but of all the quick throws that are completed, a lot of them go to Darnell Mooney, and they're fast. There's trust involved there. Cole Kmet would be next in line there. Others got to make those catches when those opportunities come. Byron Pringle included. I think he had a drop today too, a big drop.
Yeah, he had a drop, and I have questions about whether or not that guy's in over his head as a number 2 wide receiver at this point. He still has a lot to prove too. But let's go back to Mooney for a second. Okay, what was one of the most prevailing storylines last season, which led actually to your rant with the F-bomb on Justin Fields not getting reps in training camp? It was that there was no chemistry between him and the number 1 wide receiver, Allen Robinson, and that never developed. And you're saying exactly what I'm seeing. I think what anybody who's been in practice has already seen, and we saw it in OTAs. That chemistry is there with Mooney. And today, while just being one practice, I thought was a very, very good sign that chemistry is going to be there with Cole Kmet too. So right there alone, to me, the quarterback chemistry with the 2 guys that are probably going to be the 2 most obvious targets, the 2 guys that when the 49ers are preparing for the Bears already, they're looking at as the receiving options. To me, that's already in a better place than it was at any point last season.
Because they barely played with the guy. No rant coming, but they barely played.
Boo, rant. Do it.
A good example of that is that pass I was talking about over Jalen Johnson in one-on-one drills. I thought Jalen Johnson had a great day at practice today. And it didn't look like he had Darnell Mooney locked up in a one-on-one drill. Again, a drill that favors receivers. The pass that Fields threw, I don't think he throws that to anyone else but Mooney. The placement of it, where it went, and the adjustment that Mooney made to make the catch. I think even Jalen Johnson felt a bit surprised as that catch was made inbounds before he took a step out.
I feel like I talked to you into the idea that Justin Fields had a good day.
No, he was fine. I still can't get over the idea of him scrambling and running around. You bring up a good point. Maybe they're encouraging it. I do think I made the other point about the offensive line being a bit of a problem right now, but we know it's a problem. Maybe I'm just looking for that ball to be out quicker decision-making, some efficiency in the offense, because I think they are trying to go through some of that quick strike stuff.
Yeah,
I think that's more on Fields at this point, trusting what he's seeing, having some anticipation, throwing guys open. I'd like to see some of that.
Well, I think like Luke Getsy, we are all anxious to see the pads go on and see what this can really be, on offense in these practices. Look, I'm all for the CBA and them protecting the players, but I don't remember having to wait this long for pads. I thought the first padded practice was Saturday. It's not till Tuesday.
It's a week now? I thought it used to be 3 practices and they put the pads on.
That's what I thought. Now they're practice. So yesterday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, there's a day off Sunday. And then Monday's still not a padded practice. So that's 5 non-padded practices until they get to Tuesday when the pads go on.
Well, maybe Tuesday will have the energy that Adam Hoge requires from fans.
Oh, man.
Demands from fans.
Maybe I just need to go in one of the fan sections and start heckling people.
Start heckling reporters as they walk by.
I'll heckle Larry.
Hey,
I
Finley,
do that anyway.
Nice shorts.
I already do that from the stands in the media section.
But now you get everybody to get in on it.
Yeah. It is good to be back out there in camp setting. Anyway, I think a couple questions I've had. How good would Fields look in camp? How good would Cole Kmet look in camp? I had a good feeling Darnell Mooney would look good in camp.
Well, I think Darnell Mooney's connection with Fields has completely overshadowed the connection between Fields and Kmet, hasn't it?
Yes. Well,
I almost feel bad for Cole Kmet because it doesn't get brought up enough.
Yeah, but also I thought I was still kind of waiting for that to develop a little bit more. I think the Mooney connection was way more obvious in OTAs.
Well, you saw it last year too, actually on the field as well.
Yeah, but to see those plays today where Kmet was making catches on balls that were not the easiest to catch, like I think that's really good. So Yeah. I don't know if we have to bring it up this early in the podcast, but I did get a kick out of our guy, the Fishman, asking about Equimania St. Brown today.
Hey, he is your number 3 receiver. And if you're going off depth chart moves and rotations and whatnot, he's on this roster.
I want to give you credit right now. I can't even figure out who's what number receiver. So if you're telling me he's the number 3, that's a good observation.
Yeah. He was out there with Pringle and Mooney.
Okay.
When they went 3 receiver sets. I'm trying to think what else. Like in terms of like receivers, I did not take note of. Like Dante Pettis.
Yeah.
Didn't write his number down once. I think he's number 86.
I learned how to say Chris Fink today.
That was confirmed.
I think we still got to work on Kevin Shea. Is it Shea?
That I don't know.
Okay. But on the Equimania St. Brown thing, Luke gets his answer that he saw a transformation from him after he didn't make the team and then showed up a couple weeks later when they needed to call him back. And he said he turned into like a professional during that time period. The guy had 9 catches last year.
Yeah, that's Coach Doc.
Yes. I mean, that one just like came out of fine.
I think he also prefaced it like, have I told you the story before? Then it really wasn't a story. But that's just Coach Doc. That's Coach speak.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to point that out too.
That wide receiver room beyond Mooney and Pringle is wide open. Wide open.
It really is. I mean, how would you rank it right now? That's not a bad exercise to do right now.
I would do Mooney, Pringle, St. Brown.
What about Valus?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Valus is 3 or 4. He's not going anywhere.
Right.
I've wanted to see more out of him the past couple of days.
Yeah, I thought he did well in one-on-ones yesterday. But I didn't see too much out of him in the teamwork today.
Yeah, I'm still a firm believer the Bears have something there.
Mm-hmm.
But the rotations, again, maybe the ball just didn't go his way. Or maybe Justin Fields didn't have time to get him the ball. Or maybe he has to anticipate something else. But I don't think it was the offense's best day. If I had to pick upon review, if you're Matt Eberflus, I'd give the defense the edge.
Yeah. Yeah. And the offense was sloppy at times. Too many false starts.
Some of that was the situational stuff that Matt Eberflus was surprising his players with, which I like. Matt Nagy did spontaneous things like that too. We'll see if it actually works, but I don't mind it.
Like kick a 43-yard field goal in the middle of an offensive period.
And tell everybody to shut up and be quiet.
Augusta silence. What do you make of the fact that Lucas Patrick goes out, which I guess what I'm thinking is not too serious because he was able to walk off, but we'll ask the head coach next time we talk to him. Doug Kramer's the next center.
Yeah, how about that?
That caught me off guard a little bit.
That could just be spur of the moment. Like, oh, crap, we weren't planning for this today. Like Sam Mustipher was going to work solely at right guard today.
Yeah.
So maybe tomorrow, I'm assuming Lucas Patrick won't practice unless it's completely minor, bad cramp or something like that. And he's back. Mustipher can stay at right guard or whatever rotation they have at right guard because I feel like someone else keeps being added to that rotation. But yes, it was a bit surprising to see the Hinsdale Central product. Right? Doug Kramer, Hinsdale Central,
yes.
University of Illinois.
Yes.
That was a bit surprising.
A lot of Chicago connections all of a sudden on this roster.
Schofield, Komet.
I always want to say Trevor Simeon, but he's not from here. He's from like Connecticut or something. He just went to Northwestern.
Yes.
But I'm pretty sure he lives here. Like he was living here already before the Bears signed him.
I believe that is true. I believe one of our colleagues has run into him a few times in Lincoln Park.
Who's that?
Chris Emma. Not like recently, everybody, but in the past.
You know who else Emma used to run into at the Lincoln Park bars all the time? A different Northwestern quarterback, C.J. Boucher.
Wow.
Yeah. Maybe that's just what Emma does. He goes to the Lincoln Park bars and runs into Northwestern quarterbacks.
He goes to Northwestern bars? Okay.
Are there Northwestern bars?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
I have to
ask Kevin.
I mean, maybe in Evanston, but I don't know.
Somewhere in the northern suburbs, Kevin Fishbane's listening to this and getting very angry at us.
Yeah, he's screaming at his computer right now, or phone, or however he
consumes this podcast
in his car. I'm not sure. We'll have Kevin on next week. Kevin and I had fun watching practice today.
Yeah, why?
I don't know where you were, but
just a few feet over.
I know, but you didn't talk to us, so I don't know.
That's true. Well, Mark Carmen separated us.
All right, Hoge Jahns listeners, let's talk about a really cool product. Let's talk about Athletic Greens. If you're looking to get better gut health, more energy, or a stronger immune system in a really easy, natural way, you've got to check out Athletic Greens. I'm sure you all agree that most of us are not huge fans of having to take a bunch of pills or vitamins in the morning. You might forget. All right, what is this stuff? Well, one delicious scoop of Athletic Greens, you would be absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging. All the things we need to get through training camp, quite frankly. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition, especially when you start heading into flu and cold season. It's just one scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. And to make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/Adams. That is, again, athleticgreens.com/Adams to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Okay, let's be honest. Who doesn't love cereal? The crunch, the sweetness, the way you can accidentally eat a whole box or sneak it as a midnight snack. Well, then you grew up and all the adult cereals were boring, maybe tasted bland and got soggy. Well, that's where Magic Spoon comes in because it's got all that stuff you love from your childhood, but it's healthy. Magic Spoon has innovated and changed the game with sugary cereals. They spent time to perfect the crunchy texture and develop an astounding variety of flavors so that they always hit the spot, but without any of the things that are bad for you. 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and only 4 to 5 net grams of carbs in each serving. It's low carb, keto friendly, gluten free, grain free, soy free, and only 140 calories a serving. You can build your own box with a huge variety of appealing flavors. I got the classics like cocoa, fruity, frosted peanut butter, then those cult favorites like blueberry muffin, maple waffle, which I especially like. And then they also have the indulgent ones like cookies and cream, cinnamon roll. Just go to magicspoon.com/Adam to grab a custom bundle of cereal and try the magic for yourself. Be sure to use our promo code ADAM at checkout to save $5 off your order. And Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Remember, get your next delicious bowl of guilt-free cereal at magicspoon.com/Adam. Use that code ADAM to save $5 off. Thank you, Magic Spoon, for sponsoring this episode.
As the sun comes out and small businesses are back in business, LinkedIn Jobs makes it easier to grow your team. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the people you want to interview faster and for free. Create a free job post in minutes on LinkedIn Jobs to reach your network and beyond to the world's largest professional network of over 110 million people. Then add your job in the purple hashtag hiring frame to your LinkedIn profile to spread the word that you're hiring so your network can help you find the right people to hire. That's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the candidates you want to talk to faster. Did you know every week nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn? Post your job for free at linkedin.com/Adam. That's linkedin.com/Adam to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. What do you think of the Bears secondary? I think it could be very good, by the way. Like if there's any early impressions I have from this team, it's man, that secondary is loaded with talent. Even Eddie Jackson. I know everybody's not high on him anymore. But with Brisker, Gordon, Jalen Johnson looking good, this secondary can be something.
Okay. I'm not going to say they're loaded with talent, but I'm optimistic. I think it's much improved. And it better damn will be. You spent your 2 first picks on defense when you needed all these needs on offense.
That's talent, though. That's second round talent. You have
Yes.
3 second round players in there and a player who was an all pro 4 seasons ago.
Doesn't Brisker just give you those vibes like he's just going to, at minimum, the floor is Adrian Amos?
Yes, just around the ball.
Like, and I think the ceiling could be even higher in this defense with the amount of takeaways they could potentially generate. Remember, the one knock on Adrian Amos when he was here, and part of the reason why the Bears let him go was I don't think he had a single interception, or he only had 1 interception in like his 4 years as a Bear.
Well, that famous Vic Fangio soundbite we use all the time.
He's got his hands on more.
That's about Adrian Amos.
Yeah, and then he of course went to Green Bay and picked off the Bears.
Got his hands on some balls.
He picked off Trubisky in his first damn game in the end zone.
Sealed the win.
Oh, of course he did. But yeah, so here's the thing with Kyler Gordon. What do you make of him getting work in the slot? Because I guess I was optimistic that he and Jalen Johnson would be able to hold down the outside, and maybe a guy like Thomas Graham Jr. solidifies that inside. But we've also heard from Matt Eberflus on how important that slot position is, that nickel corner. And they do draft this guy first, and they didn't otherwise make too many moves to bolster that nickel corner spot. So I'm intrigued by that as the option, but then you're probably rolling Kindle Vildor out there as your outside corner unless there's some type of addition made there.
I'm looking for this quote from Kyler Gordon. I'm trying to find it. But I think it went something like this, that he lit up. He smiled when told that playing inside is going to be a possibility for him in training camp.
Mm-hmm.
Excited by it. Loves playing in the slot.
I got it for you.
Please read.
What's it been like cross-training outside and in the slot? It's been fun. Honestly, I was excited. I had a feeling they were going to tell me I was going to play nickel when we were doing OTAs and all that. So I was prepared for that. When they told me, honestly, I had the biggest smile on my face because I love nickel and I love what I can do there. So it's just been really fun. What do you like about playing nickel? You just get to be more in the run game, just a different job. I feel like me at nickel, I'm just a twitchy dude. So I just like to react a bunch. I just enjoy it. And be able to be in the run fit too. Just a lot of different things I can do there to really show all of my abilities. I enjoy nickel.
I think the question here, in which the Bears are trying to figure out, is what's the better combination? Is it Vildor outside, Jalen Johnson outside, and Gordon inside? Or is it Gordon and Johnson outside with Tavon Young or Thomas Graham Jr. inside?
But
go ahead.
No, sorry, but also I was going to say is, and I agree, that's why this makes it a little tricky. Because Kindle Vildor just simply did not have a good year playing outside, and the Bears were very susceptible as a secondary with him out there. Now, maybe he's improved. Maybe this defense is better for him. We'll give him that opportunity to show it. But this also stood out to me from what Kyler Gordon said today, Johnsy. He was asked about the importance of the nickel in this defense, and has that been relayed to him? And he said, yeah, it's definitely like the quarterback of the defense. You've got to know the calls, be able to communicate, be loud, efficient, fast, and smart, and be able to react fast. It is very important. I played that at Washington too, so I've had to fill that role and do it before. It wasn't anything new to me. Again, I like nickel a lot. If that is such an important position, which of the 3 guys do you want playing there? Like,
I want the second round pick. I want pick number 39.
I want the guy that they went out and targeted over any offensive dude on their board. That makes a lot of sense to me too, and like why they targeted him. So,
do you remember when this was like part of the conversation for Kyle Fuller some years ago?
Mm-hmm.
And how Phil Emery said that with the way the NFL is going, having that nickel be almost like a superstar can be immensely important. And how it took a few years for Kyle Fuller to really become a Pro Bowler on the outside. I don't know. I'm thinking of this right now, maybe because it's just similar. You got a high around cornerback finding his way in the NFL right now, but
No, I think it's fair.
he seems to like it.
And they never really did that with Kyle.
Yeah. There was a play on Wednesday. I can't say it much, but the speed, the athleticism, and the versatility, plus the tenacity, the willingness to tackle and get after potentially somebody who holds the ball a lot, was on display from Kyler Gordon coming out of the slot. And that in itself told me that he could do a lot more than Tavon Young or Thomas Graham Jr. in that place. Sort out whatever you want to sort out outside of him. But he becomes such a unique threat inside its slot.
I want to say I have this memory of
Phil. Did I give that away? Like, did you know what I just said there?
Yeah, Kyler Gordon blitzed and made a nice play on the quarterback. And by the way, I had no idea what player we were talking about. So,
yeah.
Wait a minute. They're going to blitz their nickel sometimes? No way. I don't think you gave anything away there.
He looks smooth on it.
Yeah, it's all good. Well, easy for me to say. What did I remember Phil Emery talking about Kyle Fuller, and he was like, I think he used the word inverted
safety.
Safety, yes. And it's true that they would like move him into the box. At we're talking about Virginia Tech, his Virginia Tech tape, and he could be very, very good there. So, but they never really
chess pieces.
Yeah,
you talk to some of these defensive coordinators, and that's what they want now. Like Sean Desai is really big on this. He wants different chess pieces to use against these offenses that are getting, well, they're just different now. You need different athletes to contend with these small slot receivers, but at the same time, durable and tough enough, big enough to go one-on-one against that tight end who may be pulling it your way. You know, that occasional pulling guard who wants to clean your clock.
Mm-hmm.
That's everything these nickelbacks have to face, like the days of the smaller Bryce Callahans. While very good players, I don't know if it's coming to an end because not all teams can have them, but it's changing. The game is changing. Chess pieces.
Chess pieces. I think the Bears were only in nickel 55% last year too, which was still the majority of your defensive plays, but compared to a lot of the league, that's like at least 2/3. They ranked pretty low in nickel percentage. And it makes sense because they were thin in the secondary. And by the way, like all the hype that people like to give DeAndre Houston Carson in that dime package they would run out there. If you look at the Football Outsiders numbers on DVOA when they were in that dime, they were like by far the worst team in the league in it. So bring the conversation full circle. Yes, I feel a lot better about the secondary at this point. And I think it's going to suit Eddie Jackson well. And I like his attitude. If we ask a player pretty much at this point, is there buy-in into the new coaching staff? What the hell are they supposed to say? But that being said, I thought Eddie Jackson talking about that. Sometimes you can tell when a player is being a little bit more genuine and when he's just like giving you the answer that he kind of has to give you. For him to offer up that he was feeling the buy-in from the players in the first month they were in the building, we're talking back in April, I thought that was a genuine comment that he offered up on his own.
Every now and then I would get this feeling last year that a lot of these guys were just going through the motions.
Yes.
And it came earlier when the season wasn't lost. That buy-in wasn't there or something was off. Now, there'd be a win or two and things would feel better, but a lot of guys just felt, what's the word I'm looking for? It just felt off. Didn't feel right. And you got what you got last year, right?
And to me, there's no better example of that than in the first damn game on Sunday Night Football when they don't touch the player down.
Yes. And it starts at the top. And you're hearing some messages. Now, this is year one, honeymoon phase from Ed Eberflus. But I think for some of these veteran players, the messages are clicking. Make that sticking. At least for now.
Yeah. All right.
How's that for optimism?
We're hitting it here today. Actually, that teased me up for something I was not planning on talking about today. But I do have this observation for a lot of people that are, I'm trying to censor myself now because apparently I have a potty mouth. For people that are pooping on the Bears these days. The same people that were like, this player sucks, all these problems are here. You got to fix it. Ryan Pace why did he bring this guy in here? Look at all these mistakes Ryan Pace made. Then the new guy comes in, gets rid of all those players. Now they're saying the Bears are worse? I don't get that. Like, I just don't understand the logic. Like, if those players were the problem, shouldn't just, like, addition by subtraction, just alone, like, I get that not every position has been filled by a Pro Bowler by any means. Like, there's no question that across the board the talent level is not great. And nobody's saying that this team's going to the playoffs or anything like that. I don't see how the logic works there. You know what I'm getting at? Like, all these problems are here. They got rid of the problems. Oh, they're going to be a worse football team. I don't get that. You're talking about the coaching should be better. The scheme should be better. Regardless of who the players are actually put in there, like, that should lead to, at minimum, the same amount of wins if the talent's worse. And I think in some places, people are sleeping on the talent a little bit.
Which players are they sleeping on?
I'll give you one example. Al-Quadin Muhammad had 7 sacks last year. Okay? In no world am I trying to say he's anywhere near Khalil Mack. But if he gives you 17 games and 10 sacks, that's more production than you got from Khalil Mack last year, who only played half the time. So I'm not saying he's a better player, but what I'm saying is at certain spots, you may end up with better production than you had last season. That's just one example. Darnell Mooney might not be as good of a number one, quote unquote, wide receiver as Allen Robinson or look that part. But if the chemistry already on day 2 of training camp practices is better than it ever was between the starting quarterback and the number one wide receiver a year ago, that is an improvement. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. So you're adding wins to this?
I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying
I still think
I don't see how they're a 4-win team, I guess is what I'm saying.
But the ceiling for you is probably still 6 or 7 wins, right?
The ceiling, I'd probably say is more like around like 8 to 9.
Like a 500 team.
Yes. That's my Chicago White Sox, which is what they are.
I would say most teams in the NFL are that way. I would say that the Bears still need a few capable players here or there, but there have been upgrades made to a certain extent. It's like, look at the offensive line moves. Braxton Jones could become a good, solid left tackle at some point, but right now, he's probably not. Riley Reif can be that. Now, is Riley Reif consistently better than those opposite him on game day? We'll see. But I think he gives you a better chance. It's like a right guard. Is Sam Mustipher a long-term answer at right guard? Probably not. If the Bears felt that way, they wouldn't be rotating different guys in there every single day. Can Michael Schofield be an answer? Does he give you more consistency on a game-to-game basis than others behind him? Maybe. That's an upgrade, but at the same time, is he consistently better than those opposite him on game day? I don't know. Does that make sense to you?
Like, no, it absolutely gets
they've
sense.
Upgraded, but you still don't know if they're upgrades against, like, they're upgraded on their own roster, but they still have to face the competition. And whether or not that's good enough, I don't know. But if it results in less pressure, like let's say Reif and Schofield result in 15% less pressure, just in terms of the Bears' projections, than a starting lineup featuring Braxton Jones and Sam Mustipher. That is a win.
Right.
That is a win. That means they were consistently better against that opposition than the projections for the other guys would be. Like, that's a win. That's better for Justin Fields.
The O-line is actually a really good example to me. I don't think anybody's looking at his offensive line and being like, do they even have one Pro Bowler? I don't think anybody's saying that. Okay. But both schematically and execution over the last couple seasons, boy, it just didn't work, people. Just did not work. So even if you're coming in with across the board like a similar amount of talent, and some might even argue it's worse. I may have done that a week ago. I think Riley Reif coming in is somewhat significant. I don't think he's a Pro Bowler. I think he's somebody that makes the complexion look a lot different. But as a unit, if they're running this outside zone run scheme and they're getting good blocking from the tight ends coming in, I think it will be better. And I think some people somehow are forgetting how god awful the offense was. So now the one area I'm still pretty concerned about is wide receiver beyond Mooney.
Well, after today, after the drops,
that's not a good sign. Early on,
all criticisms are fair there right now.
Is there a Riley Reif you can still sign at wide receiver? Though,
it feels like it's going to be a position. Well, maybe not right now.
Yeah,
but once guys start being cut around the league,
yeah, is there somebody you could just add that's just sort of like
the right expectation for guys cut at that point?
Right. True.
But is it an upgrade over Adante Pettis, who we have not talked about? That's what you're looking at. Yeah. That's how you have to view your roster building at this point in the stage of this rebuild that Ryan Poles is trying to execute here.
All right. Again, I don't want to be accused of, like, I don't have the Bears going to the Super Bowl or anything, guys. And I've been on this, and I've been consistent about this too, like pre-draft. I just don't see where they're like picking in the top 5 of the NFL draft next year. Maybe I'll be wrong. I don't see that.
So no Peter Skronsky for you?
Sorry, Fishman. You think he's going that high?
Sorry, Justin Fields. He goes top 10.
Well, I'm not saying the Bears won't be like picking 10th.
I believe Dane Brugler already has him as number 1 offensive tackle on his early rankings today.
Yeah,
on the Athletic.
I think I saw that on Twitter today. You can guess the Twitter account. At K Fishbane,
who wore a Northwestern shirt today and a Mighty Ducks hat to go match it.
Yeah, the hat was dope. I like that.
The purple with the green bill.
Yeah, it's one of the best retro logos in sports.
That's okay.
Oh, come on. That and the Montreal Expos.
I'll give you the Expos.
Yeah. I should get an Expos hat. I always talk about that, and then I never do it. I got to get on that.
I like your hat right now.
Yeah, I heard there's more coming, guys. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm wearing my Hoge Jahns hat. That's what it is. It's a good one. And I was told that obvious shirts, there's going to be more. We're also working on a couple new shirts, so those might be available soon too. Stay tuned for that. We will tell you about that. In the meantime, we got to get out of here. Follow us on Twitter at Adam Hogue, at Adam Johns. Training camp updates constantly coming in there. Read Johnsy on The Athletic and Kevin too. TheAthletic.com/HoganJohns. You can find me at allchgo.com. And we'll keep going at this pace, probably 2 pods every week. Most likely Tuesdays and Thursdays, unless news dictates otherwise. Maybe we'll
do some live ones.
We are. That's news to me.
Get some questions.
I like that. Yeah, apparently we're having an issue where people are asking us questions in the comments on YouTube, but we're not actually there live, so we're not actually seeing those comments. If you've done that, we apologize.
We'll get you.
Yeah, we're not actually there. Physically, we're here in your computer screens or on your TVs, depending on how you're watching. But yeah, we'll figure that out before we get out of here and start doing some more Q&A. Regardless, we appreciate everybody watching. We love all of our loyal listeners, viewers, however you consume the podcast. Keep doing that. Follow us. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like on YouTube if you're watching us that way. Most importantly, tell a friend. Say, hey, got a Bears friend. Tell them about Hoge Jahns. Tell them to check out the pod. And if you happen to see us out at training camp, don't hesitate ever to say hello. Always.
They got a couple hellos today.
Oh, you did. Good for you. Make you feel good?
Yes,
Okay.
it did. Come say hi. Come talk ball.
All right. We will talk to you next week.
See ya.